Back to EB5 for a moment, because as we mentioned, the waiting lists are incredibly long because of retrogression, and also especially if you're a Chinese person. And this is leading to people who have invested their capital. Their capital has been at risk for the requisite 5 years, and it may have been returned to them.
Yes.
Now, whether or not they need to redeploy that capital while they await the approval of their EB5, that's, as far as I understand, a matter of interpretation. And also, there is talk of a class action lawsuit. Can you elaborate a bit on that?
Yeah, I can. So there's two different issues. There's what the law is and what the Immigration Service policy is. And the Immigration Service, for the first time in June of 2017, made their policy clear. And their policy is that let's say it's a 5-year loan for the EB5. At the end of the 5 years, the money has to be redeployed into another project. It can't just be in a bank account. It can't be in marketable securities. It has to be in an active business. If the jobs have already been created, it doesn't have to create any more jobs, but it has to be in an active business. And the Immigration Service says that that must be sustained at risk until 2 years after the person gets his conditional green card. At the end of the 2 years, then it doesn't have to be sustained anymore. But during that time, it has to be sustained at risk. In my opinion, the law says that the money has to be sustained until the conditional residence, but it doesn't have to be sustained at risk. And that's where I think there's a chance of litigation, because if it doesn't have to be sustained at risk, it could just sit in a bank account. We have not been approached about doing that litigation. What I've been talking a lot in China is litigation on the issue of counting the numbers. So ever since the EB5 program started in 1990, the State Department has said that the 10,000 numbers is 10,000 people, include investors and family members. I believe that the law has always said that it's 10,000 investors and not 10,000 family. There's a lot of interest among Chinese investors and agents and others in funding litigation to try to get a federal court to make that ruling. If that happened, it would change everything, because all of a sudden the numbers available would more than triple. And that's something we're actively involved in right now, in talking to a lot of people in China about whether they're interested in being involved in that type of litigation. And I hope in 2018 we will be starting that litigation.